leadership growth within the direct selling industry. Hi, Charity. Good to see you. All right. So if I'm live, can you just give me a shout out, wherever you're watching at? That would be amazing. I'm hoping everything is working like a charm today. Let's see here. Facebook's been giving me a little problem. So anyway, hello, Instagram. I see you all. So good to see you. All right. So I don't know if I'm actually live. Well, that's okay. We're just gonna roll because I am so excited about G. All right, who's ready for G? And I want to know in the comments what would be your G word for success in direct selling or leadership or leadership. All right. Hey, hi, Jen. Hi, Lori. South Carolina in the house. I love it. All right, let's jump in. Okay, so the first G word that came to my mind, as you all know, this all came just like on a plane. And the first one was gift. And that is something that I will tell you for me has been huge, is the gift of direct selling, because it allowed me flexibility, which y'all know was one of my F words. And it allowed me to become my own CEO, so to speak, but under the umbrella of a direct selling company, which means I'm not having to hire all the employees. I'm not having to stock all the warehouse and things like that. So it truly, hi, Nadia. Good to see you. Misty, good to see you. It was just such a gift to us. And then for me, many of you know my story, that I started when my boys were 6, 4, 1, and Sam wasn't born yet. And so it allowed me to actually become an at-home mom, which was my dream. But at the same time, it allowed me to earn income for our family. So gift, I would just say that direct selling in general is a gift. And if you're watching this and you just kind of stumbled over here, finding the right direct selling thing for you is amazing, because it just gives you so many perks. All right. So gift, and right along with that, gratitude. I feel like to grow in this business, gratitude is really important. And I actually think gratitude is important for all things in life. And so just being super grateful for where you are so far, and then building on the foundation of gratitude. I feel like all things grow on a solid foundation of gratitude. So gratitude, and then goals. So goals are big for me. Some of you know my background as a physical therapist. Like, a huge part of our job was to work with our clients and set goals, right? Goals are super important because you need to know where are you going and how are you getting there. And so for goals, you've probably heard SMART goals. I'm sure you've heard that acronym before. If you haven't, I'll just give you the crash course on this. Goals, when you write them, should be specific, measurable. So you want something that you can actually measure, not something super not measurable. Okay. So specific, measurable, attainable or achievable. You don't want a goal to be so out there that your brain goes, yeah, right. And it doesn't really go for it. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. And I think this is important. Sometimes we're like, I got to write goals. I'm just going to slap a goal down. And it's not something that is really relevant to you or your long-term vision. So just make sure it's relevant. And then, there's a fly in my office. I was going to swat him, but then it was 7:30. So it is. Anyway, and then time sensitive. So you want to make sure your goals have a deadline. Just to say this thing with no time sensitivity is just kind of throwing a dream out there. And there's nothing wrong with throwing dreams out there. I'm all about dreams. But for goals, you actually want to set a specific time. So that's your goals. And in this business, just to give you an example, I know a large number of you I see on here on Instagram anyway are in Norwex. So for those of you who don't know, I'm an independent Norwex consultant and have been for 13 years, and a silver senior vice president leader. So I know Norwex, right? That is my baby. I know it well. And so I thought it might be fun as long as we were, oh, Barbara, so good to see you. Thank you. As long as we were talking goals, to maybe give some examples. And what I'm going to do is put it in Norwex terms, but of course, you can take the same concept, whatever business you're in, even if you're not in direct selling, these same concepts apply. Okay. So the first thing, let me just, I'm going to just do like a sample for you to say, let's say that I'm just going to use Norwex as an example. So let's say I'm a Norwex consultant. I have a goal to become a leader and open up leadership. Yay, Ellison. Exactly. And so I am making a plan and I'm writing specific goals. And I know also part of goals are like, what do you want in your life? How much income do you want to earn from this side gig that you've got going on? Or full-time gig for many of us. And so let's just say you said, okay, I want to earn an extra 2,000 every single month from my business. So as a Norwex consultant, then what I would do is you want to break that down into smaller steps that are achievable and measurable and that you can set a certain time on. So if I knew that somebody was here and they're like, okay, I want to make 2,000 a month with my Norwex business, then I would write a few goals. I'd say, okay, number one, how many demos can you do per week, either online or in person? And let's say that whoever I was working with said, I can do 4 in-person demos, 1 a week, and I can do 2 online demos with 4 hosts each. Right. So that would be 12 hosts. On average at Norwex, we know that the company average is making about $210 per party. So getting to 2,000, if someone were able to do basically 8 online parties and you do them in large groups, so it's not like you're partying every night, and then 4 in-persons, then technically with doing the math on that, you've already hit your 2,000, right? But let's just say that someone told me they could do 8 demos a month. Then I would take 8 times 210 and then I would say, okay, so that would be about 1,680 by consistently doing 2 parties a week, whatever that looks like, online or in person. And then on top of that, I am going to set a goal. What we're talking about here is Norwex or leadership in direct sales. And so then you would also be setting goals to become a leader within your company, which would include team building and sharing the opportunity along with the products. So some goals that you could write is you always want them to be stated in real time. Okay. You never want to say, I will XYZ. I'm gonna XYZ. Okay. You always say it like as if it were happening right now. That's goals in general. You always want to put them in present tense because our brain, if we say I will, our brain is so nice to us. It says, oh, honey, I know you will someday. It's all good. You just keep on going because I know someday you're gonna do that. So we want to put it in present tense where our brain goes, oh, wow, okay, so this is happening now. Okay, got it. So like, for instance, I would say as an Norwex consultant, I hold 2 demos per week. I help 1 to 2 new team members get started in their own Norwex business per month. Let's see. So in our business, your bookings for future demos is really kind of the heartbeat of our business, and our hosting plan being company funded and being amazing kind of helps us do that. So then my goal would be I get 2 to 3 bookings per demo. And then you'd set a goal for when you're going to hit your next leadership level. Okay. So I know I kind of went a little bit off on goals, but I'm passionate about goals. And I think knowing how to write them in real time. And then what I do for my goals is you can do monthly goals, you can do quarterly goals, you can do yearly goals. I also recommend you write an income goal specifically. I earn X amount by this date. Okay. So that's goals. G is for goals. I know I kind of went off on that. All right. Carrying on. Generosity came to mind. And that's one of my favorite things about what I get to do with Norwex is one of the most generous companies I have ever seen. Just on all the fronts, they are insanely generous to their customers, to their hosts, and to their consultants. And what that allows me as a business owner under their umbrella is to be insanely generous to my people. And I just feel like generosity is one of those things that will come back a thousandfold. It just always does, always has, always will. So generosity is one of my G words, and giving would be right alongside that. Um, Another word that came to mind is grace. Okay, this is big because when you're doing something like jumping into the direct selling industry, let's say, especially if you've not done it before, or honestly, even if you were with another company, but you're learning a new company, how they do it, it's easy to feel a bit like a failure, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting overwhelmed. So give yourself grace. But secondly, as a leader in this industry, you got to give other people grace too. So I would say that God gave me this gift of being able to put myself in other people's shoes and relate to them at a lot of different levels. And also, He gave me the quote gift of totally not being perfect. And so I have a lot of grace and understanding for others. But as a leader, I feel like that has been helpful. And so, I know, Margie, I couldn't agree more. I love the product. Okay. So, and then another thing that came to mind with direct selling leadership is right now we are in what's called a gig economy, a gig economy. Okay. And this is new. When I started 13 years ago, like we weren't in this gig economy, but what people are seriously looking for. I just saw a team member shared this study. I may have mentioned it last week. It was so stunning. And that was over half of Americans are considering a second job right now to make ends meet. Okay. Most Americans want that second job, if they need to pick one up, to be flexible. And so that's the gig economy. It's something that you can do on your own time. You can often do it from home, all of that. I will say, I know I'm completely biased on this comment, but I think Norwex is the best gig in town. I know, I really do. I love what we get to do. But whatever direct selling business you are, we are the perfect fit for this gig economy because we do have flexibility. We can write our own schedule. We really can determine our own income based on our investment of time and what we do. So, anyway, okay, would love to hear your G words. Give them to me. Those were the G words on my heart today. It's so good to see you all. Let me see. I just do not know. I'm hoping that we're good here. So, G word in the comments and where you're from. Would love to hear. Okay. All right. Well, with that, I think I am going to wrap it up tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday night. Let's see here. What do we have going? So for those of you in the San Antonio area, I've got some parties this weekend. And then next weekend, I will be at the San Antonio Christmas Showcase, which is so fun for buying awesome gifts. So if you're in the San Antonio area, be sure reach out to me. I've got some complimentary tickets that I get to bless my people with. So if you need a ticket to that, let me know. What else is happening? It'll be Thanksgiving before we know it. Super excited for that. Anyway, God bless all of you. Next week, we're talking H. I love H as well, but I hope this was helpful. And my challenge to you is whatever company you're with, whatever level of leadership, I hope that you will jump in and get those goals written down. I hope that was helpful. All right. We'll see you all next week.